All right, so today we're gonna dive in. Sorry, first let me introduce myself. I'm Eric Oliveros. I'm part of the U.S. sales team, and today just we'll be diving in on for a few things. We'll be talking about our ecosystem for software, talking about some applications. Will all be some applications that come with the NAS. We also have third-party applications that we'll be talking about. Talking a little bit about future plans and have a quick demo and compatibility list as well. So we'll be diving into that in just a bit. For everyone watching, just wanted to let you know we have great news for everybody watching. We have a special bonus for everyone joining us today. We're offering a 10 exclusive discount codes for an extra a discount for purchasing some NAS. So for an extra 5%, I'm sorry. So if you hurry, these codes are strictly limited to just 10 redemptions. They're only valid from May 15th to June 15th. So once they're gone, they're gone. So just
thank you for your patience. We will start in a couple minutes. We are having some technical difficulties. We appreciate your patience. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, sorry about that, folks. I was yapping away and I didn't realize that we didn't have any audio. Well, thanks for the introduction earlier, Jonathan. I'll reintroduce myself again. My name is Eric Oliveros. I'm part of the U.S. sales team, and today we're going to be talking about a few different topics. We'll be talking about our ecosystem. Oh, sorry. I guess we did hear you all the time. So, all right, I'll skip all that. We'll get back to. We have some discount codes that we for everybody watching. So we'll be announcing. We have 10 exclusive discount codes for an extra 5% off. So again, they're strictly limited to just 10 redemptions. They're valid from May 15th to June 15th. So once they're gone, they're gone. So the code is UGREEN NASLive in all caps, all one word, UGREEN NASLive. So head over to our NAS official website to redeem your discount code before it's too late. Good luck, everybody. And I'll pass it on to Cedric.
Oh, it's to me. So we're having also a giveaway. So that's the part that a lot of people are expecting. So we're giving away some hard drives from our partners at Western Digital. That'll be a total of 5 10 terabyte hard drives to 5 lucky winners. So one each. Here's how you can enter. So all you need to do is leave a comment with the phrase UGreenXWD. So again, that's UGreenXWD. Please remember to keep things fair. It's one entry per person. So duplicate comments will unfortunately be disqualified. This giveaway starts now and will conclude right before our special guest from WD begins their section. So make sure you get your entry in soon. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting, or the moment you'll be waiting for, the winners will be revealed later in the stream. So stay tuned. Good luck, everyone. Now that we've got the exciting giveaway details covered, let's dive into the heart of why we're all here today, UGREEN NAS. I'm thrilled to introduce our product manager, Cedric. He's going to take us through our existing NAS product lineup and give us a sneak peek at what's on the horizon. So without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Cedric.
Thank you, Jonathan. Hi, everybody. My name is Cedric. I'm product manager here at UGREEN. It's nice to have you all there. Seeing we're having more than 50 people here. So today, I want to give a bit of a context of what we've been doing so far in 2025 and also what's coming up next. So I wanted to first introduce a little bit NAS. For maybe some of you don't know what NAS is yet. The NAS is basically network attached storage. So it's basically a box like this one, and you can just plug it into your home or at office, and you can store a bunch of stuff on it. It's usually compared to cloud storage, but it has some advantages over cloud storage. For example, you have like full control over your data, your access, you control everything. And also bonus, you don't have any monthly subscriptions or fees or anything. So that's one of the main advantages of UGREEN NAS. Also, we've been developing NAS for a couple of years now, so it's not only since last year. Actually, we've been already developing them for 5 years before entering the international market. So maybe some of you who were buying in China, for example, had some knew those models like the DH2100 or 2600. That were our previous models. But nowadays we have like 2-bay, 4-bay, 6-bay, 8-bay, and even an all-flash model. And so some of you might have noticed, for example, when you have like a DXP 2800, the 2 at the beginning means it's a 2-bay. When it's a 4800, it's a 4-bay. 6000, it's a 6-bay, and 8000, it's a 8-bay. And the 480T Plus, that's all flash, so only SSD, only NVMe SSD to be precise. And also coming up later this year is our new IDX series. You might have heard of it during the CES. So it's with complete new focus on AI. And even you might have seen the Pro with its gorgeous display, which is also very nice, and excited to to actually get my hands on this product. To talk a bit more about our system itself, so basically our UGOS Pro is based on Linux. So we have usually 2 types of apps. So we have like what we call in-house apps, and we also have like third-party apps. So in-house app, what is it exactly? It's basically our apps we developed ourselves, like photos, files, theater, music. It's all basically the apps that come with the device when you buy it. And also we have like some more advanced apps, like for example, virtual machine or Docker. If, for example, the apps we're offering aren't sufficient for your needs, you always can like download a container in Docker and probably find a workaround. I mean, in the meantime, we're also developing more and more apps to satisfy more and more of our users. And third-party app, as you might have guessed, is like related to Docker or any other way, basically, to install apps on our device that aren't native. So we have recently we have like released in our App Center some apps like Firefox, Jellyfin, or Qubit Torrent. Those apps usually in the App Center you will see like associated with Docker or something like that, which basically means it uses a container that's run by a Docker to be able to run itself. I also wanted to talk a bit about our recent updates so far throughout the year. So if we take a look back at 2025 so far, at the beginning of the year, we had a crowdfunding in Japan. And that's why we actually added also Japanese. Actually, that crowdfunding, some of you might have followed, maybe it's over 6 million, we raised over $6 million US, which is quite a huge amount. I think we were like #1 on this platform for that crowdfunding. And also we added recently other languages like French, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Those because we are looking to expand ourselves to the European market. I mean, before we already had German, English, of course, but we are looking also to maybe start some new crowdfundings in Europe. We also recently added the 2-factor authenticator, which many of you have asked. So it's probably know what it is. It's basically when you download, when you connect to your device, you have to download an app called Microsoft Authenticator or any other app compatible with the OTP protocol. And when you then logging into your device, it will ask for you to open the app and and enter verification code. And then you can always choose like to remember this device, so it won't prompt you again next time you log in to the device. It's this feature is of course up to you. You can decide to activate it or to deactivate it, depending on your needs, basically. We also added an online subtitle feature. So basically, before in our theater app, all movies, series, the content you had, basically, if it had subtitles with it, you would be able to directly see them in the theater app. But now we can also directly from the theater app download some subtitles online. So basically, how it works: you open in your theater app, you start a movie or a series, and then on the bottom right, you have like some sort of settings, and you can like search for online subtitles. And then basically it's looking to a database, and you just enter the name of your movie or the series, and then it will give you a whole list of it. So you will have maybe like 20 different. So then you need to basically download, try, and also depending on the language you want, because sometimes it also has multiple language depending on this database, the capabilities of the database. And then you can also always adjust the timing. So for example, if it's like 1 second too late, 1 second too early, you can always like adjust a little bit the timing to make it match perfectly what you're seeing, basically. Also, recently you might have noticed we redefined or refined our icons and names. Some of the example I have here is like file manager. We just reduced this to file, which is, I think, more convenient or easier to, also more simple. Also, we revised a few icons to make them more look more appealing, I think, and just to give a fresh look to our system. Some of you also asked for Google Drive, which we also added. So basically in our app Cloud Drives, or previously was called NetDisk Tools, but now it's called Cloud Drives. Until recently, we could only like connect to OneDrive, but now we can also select Google Drive, and then you just go the usual steps, select Google Drive, log in, and then you can basically see how much storage you still have on the Google Drive, on your Google Drive account, but you can also like upload files, download files, and even create some sync tasks. In April, we have added account activity in our control panel. So basically what that gives you is, if you go to your control panel and then security, you have account activity. So if you open that, you will see every user that has connected to your device, from which IP address, which type of device, if it's an Android, an iOS, a computer. Basically, also you see the protocol, if it's, for example, HTTP or HTTPS. And if you see like unwanted connection to your device, you can at any time just click on terminate, and then they're just out of your device. We also added a formatting external storage feature. So because our NAS device is mainly focused on storage, on hard drives, we're always looking to improve more and more our storage regarding feature. So one we recently added is the capability to format external storage. So how it works is basically we go into the storage app, and then we have like on the external storage, then we see all of our USB, SD cards, or any other external storage, and then we can just click on it and format them to the format we want: XT4, FAT32, NTFS, and so on. We also, as we have like more and more users using Docker or virtual machines, we also wanted to improve the experience in virtual machines. So we have some, until previously, we had one of our issue that was frequently mentioned is that if you use an external storage, it wouldn't appear in the virtual machine, but now it can. So basically, you need to go into the virtual machine, then go to the advanced settings, and then you have like USB controller, and then you can select the external storage you want to have you can see in the virtual machine. One thing to note about that is if you configure external storage to be able to be seen into the virtual machine, the time the virtual machine is running, it won't be seeable on the device itself. So basically, if you want to have in the virtual machine your external storage, you won't have it in the device itself anymore during the period of time you're using the virtual machine. Also, we have like a file deduplication feature. So like the Photos app we had before, on the Photos app, you had like a feature where you can like look for similar photos, and it would just find a bunch of similar photos which you can then choose or only keep the best shots to optimize the storage. Well, basically the file deduplication feature is the same, but for like the whole system. So you basically just go into the Files app, and then you have like a setting file deduplication. And then it basically looks throughout your whole files. I mean, if you select, of course, you can always select you only want the images or only want the videos or only want this type of file. And then it will basically give you a list of all duplicate files it finds. There's also quite an algorithm behind it, looking at the length of the path, the size of the file. So there are multiple criteria which will make the algorithm decide if it's a duplicate file or not. And then you can always, of course, verify and choose and confirm if you really want to keep only this file or that file. I wanted to give you a quick preview on the future AI capabilities for those who have been to the CES or NAB. You might have already have this preview maybe. So we have like 3 main features we are implementing in our IDX series. The first one is like the most important one is like the AI chat. So it's a local running LLM that can have access to all of your files if you set them like that. Of course, you're always in control of your files and everything on your device. So if you want this local AI to have access to your files, you can decide that, and you can also select the range. You can say, I only want it to have access to a certain type of files and not to other ones. And by doing that, the large language model has much more context. So basically, the response it will give you has much more context. So it will give you a probably more accurate response, or at least has more information. Also, you will be able to you will also have an extension. So if you don't like our local LLM, you can always have other LLMs running like DeepSeek or other open source ones. And we also will introduce a cloud version. So if you want to have, for example, ChatGPT or other that works over cloud, that will also be possible. Also, we have like a voice to memo or summarizing a meeting feature. So it's basically I will have a voice file, MP3 file, or other files. Basically, if you record a meeting, and you will just be able to drag and drop that file, and it will give you a summary of the meeting or of the audio file. So it basically transcript the audio into text and then summarize it for you. That's one also of our feature. And the last feature I wanted to give you a quick preview of is the smart tags feature. This, I think, one of my favorite actually, is when you're in the Files app, you then can select smart tags, and it will basically look at every file and tag it basically on some basic categories, like for example, technical documentation or legal file, those kind of tags. And then you can just sort them, just select, for example, I only want to see all technical documentation, and then it will just give you all of that file. So it basically adds an extra layer of filtering that is completely AI based, and all of that, of course, locally running. Actually, all our future updates, we recently updated our website. So you can find all of them directly on our official website. If you look for planned future updates, you will see all of our updates coming throughout the year 2025, but also all the three previous, I mean, the important updates we've released in the three latest versions. So I also wanted to mention, basically each version, each month, we have like, we release one version. So when we say basically update in the last three versions, it basically means in the last 3 months. Also, because we have a special guest today, I also wanted to give a quick introduction of our hardware compatibility list. Some of you may be familiar with this list. So if you go on our official website, you will have a compatibility list that gives you all the devices, all the hardware we've tested. So it's not only HDD, but also M2 memory, SD card, UPS battery, USB, PCI Express. So a lot of different type of hardware. So we all basically, all the ones that are on our list are basically the ones we've tested here in our headquarters. So yeah, basically how the process works is before adding hardware on our compatibility list, we basically contact the company, partner with them, and then we just check basically which device we should test first in priority depending on the consumer needs. And then we basically just test them here in our office. And if we see it doesn't affect, for example, noise or consumption or any other factors, we then just add it to a compatibility list. Of course, our compatibility list is not too restrictive. Well, what I mean by that is basically you can have a lot more hardware compatible with our devices, but the ones that are on our compatibility list are the safe one, basically, are the ones where you're sure we've tested them and they're good to go. Whereas other hardware, you can also test them and they'll probably be compatible. I mean, HDDs, a lot of HDDs are compatible, right? SSDs, the same. Memories also, I mean, of course, check the version, if it's like the same model and so on. But yeah, you have a lot of hardware you can use on our device, but we have also a compatibility list to guarantee some of the hardware. That was all for me. Thank you for listening, and I hand over to Eric, I think.
All right, thank you, Cedric. Appreciate it. And again, you had a few people asking about the the code. So again, we're strictly limited to 10 redemptions, and it'll be valid from May 15th to June 15th. So jump on it as soon as you can. The code is UGREEN Again, UGREEN So head over to our official NAS website to redeem your code before it's too late. And good luck, everybody. And Jonathan?
Yep. So before we move on, a quick update about our giveaway. The entry phase has officially closed, so please don't submit further entries. Our 5 lucky winners will be announced right after WD's presentation, so stay tuned. We'll reveal the winners shortly. In the meantime, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. Next up, we're honored to have Mark from Western Digital speak on some of their NAS-specific drives.
Right, thanks. And can you hear me and see the screen share okay?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. So, hi, I'm Mark with Western Digital's HDD product marketing team. At WD, we create hard drives that are tuned and optimized to however you are storing data, wherever you are storing data, from PC desktops, like in the image here on the left with WD Blue, to WD Black for gaming rigs, to WD Purple for video surveillance recorders, WD Gold for professional workstations, and even with UltraStar for servers in scale-out cloud data centers. So there is a WD hard drive brand that is the right tool for the right task of storing your data wherever and however you are storing that data. I skipped over one product in the row here. That's because that's going to be the focus of our discussion for the next few minutes. That's WD Red for network attached storage.
Oh, one
it's
second.
the WD Red. Yeah.
Can you just pull up the slides? Your Discord is over.
I'm sorry?
Your Discord is over the slides.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
alt
there you
tab.
go.
There you go.
That a little better?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Sorry about that. So WD Red has been in the market for 12 years now, really known amongst NAS power users for its reliability and performance. And most importantly, as the UGREEN team was saying, Red is designed for NAS and it's tested to be compatible with all of the UGREEN range of NAS systems. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. For now, let's watch a quick video about WD Red hard drives. So that was a quick introduction to WD Red. Now let's talk for a minute about what designed for NAS means. First, unlike traditional desktop class hard drives, WD Red is designed for 24/7 operation. Your UGREEN NAS will have an on and off button, but chances are you don't operate that, or if you operate it on a schedule, you typically are not powering it off. The UGREEN NAS will go into lower power modes when it's not, in full use. And so you may be tempted to use a desktop class hard drive because that's the lowest price that you might be able to find a drive online for. You'd save a few dollars. In our experience, desktop drives are really only rated for workday operating hours. And if you do choose to use a desktop class hard drive, yeah, you might save a little bit up front, but you typically will see and have a bad experience, have an early failure with the desktop drive. You pay for it in the long run, either with lost data or downtime, lost productivity. So whether you use a WD drive or one of our competitors' hard drives, we really recommend that you choose a designed for NAS product that shows up on the UGREEN compatibility list. That really means that it's been tested and thoroughly to be compatible and will work and give you the best reliability and performance for your NAS system. So next thing is beyond 24/7 operation, Red drives are tested to operate in multi-drive bay environments that are RAID optimized. And so we really recommend a drive that's been thoroughly tested in different RAID configurations as well. The workload rating, high workload rating, that workload is really the data that's being written to or read from the drive. And NAS systems are meant to be file sharing devices between multiple people. So a high workload rating really means that the drive is rated for a high volume of data traffic amongst multiple users, both for writes and for reads going into and out of the drive. We have a different firmware for all of the different products that I showed in the first slide. And the firmware is really what gives its drive its performance characteristics. Really, we call it its personality for the drive. And when you think about how a NAS is operating, it's mixed workloads, different sizes, and different types of files. So what NASware will do is it manages the flow of your data in what we call mixed workloads. The mixed workloads are data streams of different sizes, so large and small block files, and at different frequencies. So sequential, which is regularly incoming, or a sequence of, or in a sequence, or random and less frequent data writes or reads. And NASware will set a caching policy. So on the hard drives, all of the hard drives, we have a cache pad of DRAM memory. And what that cache primarily is there for is that when data is being written to the drive, if there's kind of an overrun or an inflow of different data streams, We'll prioritize the sequential large file size streams that are coming in. So say video, for example. And if it's a video file stream that's coming in, we'll go ahead and write that directly onto disk. So from the NAS operating system and file system, it will go directly to the disk. And then at the same time, if we're seeing random, less frequent files, smaller file sizes, things like documents or photos, oftentimes we'll go ahead and park those temporarily in the cache system, and then the write will complete. It's often, typically, usually milliseconds later. But the whole caching policy is really designed to not lose and interrupt any of your data. And finally, NASware can intelligently change into different power states at times when the NAS may be in sleep or low usage modes. So that's NASware, the firmware software that helps make WD-Red an ideal fit for NAS systems. Just a quick overview on the WD-Red product family. There are two different product lines here. One is WD-Red Plus. It's really the NAS drive for for home office power users and small businesses. The capacities of WD-Red Plus range from 2 terabyte to 12 terabyte. It's for NAS systems up to 8 bays, so it does work in the 8-bay UGREEN NAS system. It's rated for a high amount of workload, 188 terabytes per year, so that's data both incoming and outgoing from the NAS system, with high reliability ratings, and it includes a 3-year limited warranty. And then the step up from Red Plus is WD-Red Pro. So this is a NAS drive really for creative professionals or even to mid to large business users. The capacities range from 2 terabytes all the way up to 26 terabytes. That's the industry first 11 disk drive system that scales now up to a leading 26 terabyte capacity. It is designed for NAS system with unlimited bays. We're still waiting on that unlimited bay product from UGREEN, but beyond the 8-bay system, if in the future UGREEN gets into 12 drive bays, 24 drive bays, or expansion units, WD-Red Pro will be ready for those higher amounts of drive bays installed into the system. It has higher workload rating, up to 550 terabyte per year. There is faster performance in the professional grade product, 7,200 RPM spindle speed, and a large amount of cache. We just talked about cache being important to make sure we don't have any data overruns and loss of data as systems are writing. And it includes a 5-year limited warranty. So oftentimes we'll see people that plan on deploying their NAS units for a 5-year period of time. Above and beyond the performance and reliability improvements in WD-Red Pro over Plus, oftentimes they'll purchase the Pro drives just to have that 5-year warranty as well. So that's the WD-Red Plus and the Red Pro product, and this will just give you a quick side-by-side comparison. Again, Red Plus up to 8 bays, Red Pro above and beyond that, Red Pro up to 26 terabytes per year with that 5-year warranty. And then we do want to touch on a really important concept that UGREEN had introduced to us today, which is compatibility. And WD works really closely with UGREEN. Our engineering teams collaborate and work really closely together when we have product launches coming up, and just to make sure that our new drives, like the 26 terabyte, are going to be compatible with the UGREEN systems. So compatibility is really the key to reliable NAS operation. So there's extensive cooperation between our companies, and compatibility testing is plugging in the drive and does it work right out of the box. And we go through extensive runtime periods on reliability testing. So that's, can you count on the drive to work over long periods of time again and again? And at WD, we allocate a large amount of our qualification samples when the drive is first being manufactured, and we allocate those to UGREEN so that their engineers can plug in the drives into their systems, go through their exhaustive and extensive tests. And then at Western Digital, I'm here in Irvine, California, we're building out our test library of UGREEN NAS systems so that we can also do duplicate testing here as well in our labs. And I'm up on the fourth floor here, nice and light. Our engineering test lab, unfortunately, is literally down in the basement, no windows. But that just means they're working around the clock. We'll slide a pizza under the door occasionally. But really close collaboration between Western Digital and the UGREEN teams. And what you'll see is a compatibility list that UGREEN publishes. I think that was mentioned before. The web address, the URL is here. And what you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see all sorts of different hardware products. And this is the hard drive page. You'll see a mix of Western Digital and also our competitors' drive. And again, we'd prefer that you work with Western Digital as much as possible, but the key thing here really is that you're given a choice. UGREEN tests with not only Western Digital, but also our competitors' products. That allows you to pick the right drive from the system that you like at the right price point, the right drive for the performance and reliability that you're looking for. Not all NAS vendors do that. Some suppliers will not give you a choice. They'll want you to buy the system under their drive brand, under their own label. And that really kind of limits your choices. So it just lessens your ability to create the ideal NAS system that you're trying to build and put together. And other drive vendors too will sometimes gate the health information that's coming off of the drive. So we'll publish not only smart drive data, but also some extensions to that, which go deeper into the health and the operating reliability characteristics of the hard drive. Some other vendors will actually not allow you to get to that information unless you actually purchase their own drive branded. So we applaud UGREEN. We like the competition. It keeps WD sharp and continuing to drive and introduce new products like the 26 terabyte WD Red Pro. So the compatibility list is definitely something you should go look at once you've decided to purchase your UGREEN NAS. The second step is really the storage that goes inside of it. And so we liked the compatibility list from UGREEN and appreciate your consideration of WD hard drives. So that's kind of just an overview of Western Digital, our partnership with UGREEN, and appreciate UGREEN bringing us on the call today to be able to talk about WD Red hard drive. So thanks.
Thank you, Mark. So to quickly sum up what makes UGREEN NAS a fantastic choice, we're talking about reliable performance you can count on, an easy-to-use interface for seamless management, and versatile features to handle all your storage needs. Plus the freedom of choice for your preferred drives thanks to our wide compatibility. We're also always innovating new products built for the future of data storage. Also, don't forget our exclusive 5% discount codes are available for the first 10 customers to claim them, so act quickly. Now, without further ado, let's get to the exciting part. Hernan will now introduce the winners of the 10 terabyte hard drive giveaway.
All right, everyone. Good job. First of all, thank you, Jonathan, Eric, Mark. Great stuff, Cedric. Very, very good stuff. Very informative. And thank you guys, everyone, for joining us today, tonight, wherever you're at. So we are going to do a quick Q&A after. So what we need is some questions. I know some of you guys have written some questions in really quick. Before we do that, guys, I know just really quick, a quick sound off. There is 85 users on our group currently. Just a really quick sound off. Where are you guys coming from? Where's everybody from? USA, New Jersey, Quebec, Canada, Poland. Oh, I can't read that fast. Jeez Louise, Connecticut, California, Florida, USA, Germany, Canada, Virginia, Seattle, but originally from Peru. Oh, welcome, Peru. California, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, The Matrix. Got Neo's online. Pennsylvania, Boston, Armenia. Oh, wow, fantastic. Ohio,
Minnesota.
Oh, the UK. Got some Brits out here. Texas, UE, Netherlands. Fantastic. Florida. Great. That's awesome, guys. Thanks. And Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Singapore. Wow. Brazil. Brasileiro. Texas. Oh, the big state. Fantastic, guys. So again, thank you and welcome. So let's go ahead and get started with our giveaways. A couple of rules. Obviously, there's always the winning rules. I got spouted a bunch of rules and regulations, and they go something like this. This is a fair selection process. We will draw winners one by one. If any duplicate winners appear, we will redraw to ensure that fairness is only one person, as I mentioned, and only one registered person per event. That's why I told you guys not to register too many times, because I was just copying and pasting stuff. So just trying to keep it fair. Winner verification, guys, this is really super important. We don't have a lot of time, so we really need you guys to follow that one. Renee, that's the third time you've done that. So I'm gonna ban you from winning. Just kidding, guys. So again, the winner verification, really important, guys. If your name is called, you must immediately comment 1 in the chat to confirm you're actively watching and not sleeping. No response within 1 minute means we will redraw for that particular prize, for that spin. Okay, I got a little spinner and we got 1 minute to claim it. And here's another thing: if it's not you and you're pressing 1, we're gonna delete you. We're gonna ban you. All right, so don't do that. Yes, US only. These rules are only for US. So sorry, guys, I can't. We can't do outside of the US this time. So claiming your prize. Okay, now to claim your prize, the winner must DM our official account at UGREEN NASync immediately after confirmation to arrange shipping details. Okay, very important, guys. So again, really quick, if you are the winner, comment number 1. So guys, if you please can keep the chat room vacant. Try not to chat too much. And that way the winner, we can spot the winner and we can stop. Otherwise, if I don't see it, there's too much chats going on, then I might have to respin. So let's not do that to each other. Okay, let's have a little bit of decorum. Winner, put the number 1 in the comments. Once you're confirmed, then you're going to DM our official NAS. Employees of UGREEN are not eligible. Unfortunately, that's right. Let's see. Draku is not can't win either. I'm just kidding. No, you're actually in, but thanks for all your help too, by the way. We should actually just give you a free one for all the work you do for us. So all right, you guys ready? All right, let's go. Hey, by the way, great job, Mark. Very you know what? I just learned some hard drive stuff from Mark from WD. I appreciate that. Really good stuff, guys. So here we go. Let me just share this spinner. There it is. All right. Can you guys see the spinner?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Here we go. Ready, set. Hold on one second, guys. I have to get my timer ready also. We got to follow the rules. So we're going to go to 1 minute. 1 minuto. 1 minute after the name is called. Here we go. Ready, set, go. All right. Aldisvio. Am I saying that right? And you've got 1 minute.
There he is. He responded.
You got him? All right. We got him. Thanks, Eric, because I cannot see the chat.
Aldesvio.
Aldesvio. Aldesvio. Is that close?
There he is. Congratulations, Aldesvio.
All right. Next. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Drawing number 2 for the 10 terabyte Western Digital hard drives. And that is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Clock is ticking.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
All right. Fantastic.
Congratulations, Obi.
And Eric's assuming that it's a him. So I know female Obi. All right. Congratulations, Obi, for the Western Digital 10 terabyte hard drive. I'm sure that's going to help out and go right into your NAS system. Here we go. Let me reset my clock. All right. This is number 3, and we are off. All right. Banjo's the winner. Banjo in the house.
Andrew.
Kazooie.
Banjo? What'd you say? Banjo Kazooie. There he is.
Oh,
there
okay.
they are.
Just
There
in
they are.
time. Just in
Congratulations.
time. Running down the time. All right.
At the buzzer.
Yep. 30 seconds ago. All right. Here we go. This is for hard drive number 4. Here we go. Ready, set. All right. It's, how do I pronounce that? Is it DJ Run or Dijon?
Dijon? There we go. Well, however we mutilated your name, they won. They're in.
Congratulations. Fantastic.
Dijon. You got it.
Sorry about that, guys. About your names, we apologize. We're not getting them correctly.
For the mutilation.
And that, I believe, was hard drive number 4, guys, correct? Eric?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
That was number 4? Okay, this is the final hard drive, guys, so there we go. So here, before I do this, before you guys log off, really important, and probably the most important part of this, you guys have the attention of one of our product managers here. So not only is it you guys are winning hard drives, but you guys get to win some knowledge now. Okay, so once we're done with our prizes, go ahead and ask a few questions in the chat, and we'll try to answer them. Okay, try to answer them, but not yet. Let's just wait till we're done. That way the winner can claim the prize. Once we're done, go ahead and ask your questions. We've already seen a few of them, so we have picked a few of them. But go ahead and send a little bit more. We'll be happy to answer it. Like I said, this is actually more valuable than a 10 terabyte hard drive. Is getting the information right from Cedric. Okay, from the man himself, from the expert of our NAS systems. So here we go. You guys ready for the last spin and the last winner? It goes to the UK guy who is in the UK. So how are you going to collect that? UK guy, are you in the UK or are you in the US? Let's be honest. I promise you we'll do a giveaway in the UK. No?
Kentucky Wildcats. He's in the U.S.
All right, there you go. Fantastic. So congratulations, UK guy 115.
University of Kentucky, not United Kingdom.
For sure. I need to double check that. I just checked his Facebook page. Okay, guys. So congratulations, our 5 winners, 10 terabyte hard drives, compliments of our partners, Western Digital. So, guys, so I'm going to hand this back over to our guys, the smart people, and they're going to tell you, answer all of your questions. All right. So thank you again, guys, and congratulations to you winners.
All right. We have quite a few decent questions.
As I mentioned as I mentioned before, we have a deduplication app in the files. I mean, in the files app. So I'm wondering this question, what kind of deduplication exactly are we talking here? Because as I said, we already have one in the files app. So we released recently. Maybe you can check it out and try it. It's already, already implemented,
It's
released
there already.
recently, but yeah.
Yeah, somebody just asked that question, but that's all they asked is deduplication. Any plans for ZFS support?
That's a tougher one. I've heard that name being mentioned recently in our development team.
Mhm.
How far they into it? That's another question. I don't have an exact answer for this one.
Gotcha.
Very good.
Another question that pops up. I had a few of these. Any surveillance software features coming?
Yes, this one I can confirm. We are working on it, and it's going to be released. Surveillance. It's actually even in if you go to our system update plan on our official website, there is it's actually already mentioned a monitoring app called Surveillance. So it's basically that. It's to replace those Docker alternatives or workaround.
All right, let's see. Looking through the questions. Expansion units. Any plans for expansion unit releases in the future?
It's in the pipeline.
In the pipeline. Got it. How about rack mounts? So that's another one. Quite a few people ask for rack mounts.
Mm. Yeah, how we will implement this it's another question, but we're definitely thinking about adding a way to expand storage on NAS devices, so it will be kind of a device to connect to. So the exact implementation I can tell right now, but it's definitely in the pipeline.
Awesome. Let's see, what else do we have? Any plans? Let's see, expansion units. We got that. Let's see. Is UGREEN NAS exhibiting at Computex next week? Well, I can answer that. Yes, we are. And booth number will be located booth number NO326. So looks like it's in the Nangan Exhibition Center, Hall 1, 4th floor. So booth N0326. Let's see. There's a few people asking about encryption. What type of file encryption? Let's see. Here's another one that keeps popping up. Does UGREEN have plans to implement a hybrid RAID system like Synology SHR or Asystore or T-RAID?
Yes, this one is also we've seen our competitors doing it, so we also been thinking about it for a couple of months already, and it's being developed. So it will be implemented at some point, probably throughout the year, but it's already in our development team's hands, basically.
Got it. Let's see, a few. How about cloud? How about extend cloud backup options? Do we have any other cloud, third-party cloud services that we'll be adding to our cloud options anytime soon?
So basically, right now we have like the OneDrive and Google Drive, and we have like some sync tasks, right? But proper backup, we're still working on it. It's always depends on what the API, what the cloud itself offers, right?
Right.
So it's basically a technical issue we are thinking about and working on. If it will be released also depends basically on the technical capabilities of the different cloud services.
A few people asking about IDX and DX, or they'll be using the same OS, the UGO's OS.
Yes, it will be all UGOS Pro, but you will have some differences. So it will be a different iteration or different version of the UGOS Pro. So the main difference basically is the features we've introduced earlier, like the AI chat, the smart text, the voice to memo or something like that. Those will be exclusive to the IDX series. So if you have like a DXP 4000 or a DXP series, older or a current device, you will have also some improvements concerning AI, like for example, photos, the recognition will be better. Or also you also have some AI features, but not as much as the IDX series. The reason is pretty simple. It's the processing power. The new IDX series comes with the latest Intel Ultra cores, Ultra processors, and so we'll have much more processing power. Also, I can add to that, we will be able to add an external GPU. So we will have a great processor, be able to put a lot of RAM in it, and even add an external GPU. So we'll have all the elements to have a good running LLM on your machine. But that's unfortunately only on our newest series, on the IDX series. The older devices, we would be afraid that the performance wouldn't be great and we wouldn't achieve the result we wanted to deliver.
Okay, you got some questions for WD here. Has WD completed their SSD transition to SanDisk yet, and will it affect the WD SSD red line?
Yeah, so two answers to the two questions. So the first is that the separation was complete. So I'm here in Irvine, for example, and on the fourth floor, and this used to be all around me SanDisk employees. They've now all moved down to the third floor, and that was an SEC requirement here in the U.S. So that the company's completely separated. All the SanDisk employees had to be in their own building or their own floor in this case. And so, yeah, they're right under me right now, but we're separated. So Western Digital is no longer selling any of the SanDisk products except for some external SanDisk Pro hard drives under a license. And the SanDisk team is continuing to sell the WD Colors brand flash drives. So you will see the WD Red NVMe and flash drives sold still under the WD Red brand name, but it's being sold by SanDisk on the SanDisk website, if that answers your question.
Thank you, Mark. I don't know. This one kind of falls in between both WD and the UGREEN. Can WD firmware be updated in UGOS? I don't know if that would be a Cedric question or a Mark question.
Yeah. It depends what do they mean by WD's
firmware
implemented in UGOS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that update about updating the firmware of the WD Red Plus and Red Pro hard drives? Is that what the question is?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a WD limitation. The short answer is no. You cannot update the firmware for WD Red drives through the operating system, file system, UGOS. But that's a WD limitation. So the first thing to know though is that firmware, unlike other products like with your smartphones and mobile phones, things like that, that are updating regularly, hard drives don't update firmware very often, if at all. So we go through really extensive testing prior to manufacturing and shipping the drives. If there is a firmware update that's for a security reason or something else, the utility today is a Windows-based utility. So you would have to go through an exercise of ejecting one drive at a time, updating the firmware, putting it back in, rebuilding RAID, doing the same thing with the other drive slots. Pretty exhaustive process. So we try at almost all costs to avoid firmware updates wherever possible. To enable that for UGOS, for UGREEN to be able to do that, we would still have to publish that drive firmware update utility under Linux, go through some compilation, and they'd have to pull it into their operating system and file system. So it would be an extensive step. So we will, put that on the list of things to investigate with our engineering team. But again, firmware updates are fairly rare in the hard drive industry.
Got it. Thank you, Mark. I think we've pretty much exceeded our time. Tons of good questions here, and I wish we could answer them all. What else? Let's see. Yeah, we're hitting our 1 hour mark.
Draco, is there any way you can gather some of these questions for us and get them over to us when you get some time?
Yeah, we want to make sure we get a lot of these answered.
Perfect. Okay. Draco's going to take care of it. Thanks again for your support, John.
All right, so this will bring our event to an end. Thank you everyone for taking the time to join, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.